The Carol Rogers Show, starring Carol Rogers.
We all make decisions, right? Every day we're thinking about something. We have to decide one way or the other, but not everybody does it, as well as my guest with me today. She's so cool, she gets a standing ovation every time she walks in the room. I'm going to explain how that works. But first, we're going to go to this amazing Omaha Minute. Stay tuned and watch this for me, please.
The growing popularity of big company motion pictures in the 1920s caused the shutdown of many live theater productions in the U.S. Theater enthusiasts across the nation began the Little Theater movement to rekindle interest in hometown-produced theater. In 1924, in Omaha, Nebraska, a group which included Marlon Brando's mother, Dorothy Brando, founded the Omaha Community Playhouse, and they put on productions at various sites around the city until a permanent site was built on Cass Street in 1959. Since 1925, many talented Omahans have participated in the Playhouse, including 20-year-old Henry Fonda, who won leading roles in numerous plays. Today, the remodeled Omaha Community Playhouse is an Omaha icon that puts on amazing productions with beautiful sets. These shows pack the 561-seat theater, averaging over 100,000 in attendance each year. Since the 1980s, the Omaha Community Playhouse has been recognized as one of the best community theaters in America. To learn more about the Omaha Community Playhouse, visit their website at www.omahaplayhouse.com. This has been an Omaha History Minute.
I am a woman of my word, and I promised to introduce to you a woman who gets a standing ovation every time she appears before the people that she needs to appear before, because she has a black robe on, and she is my friend, Chief Justice Laurie.
Just Chief Judge.
Chief Judge.
That's right.
Okay.
That's fine.
You have the Chief Judge Laurie Smith-Camp. I just know her as Laurie. I know the Smith-Camp part, but we joked. We were out, and she said very jokingly to me, well, I get a standing ovation every time I come in. And it's true. At least they still do that.
It's true. People stand for the robe when I come into the room because...
And the woman behind the robe.
Well, when I'm wearing the robe, I'm representing the law. And they're standing because of respect for the law. And the same holds true for the jury. Once we have a jury impaneled and they are chosen to try the case and they are sworn in, every time that jury walks into the room, I stand up, everyone in the courtroom stands up for the jury because they represent the law.
Wow, the customs here in the United States differ from other places. I had a friend from Ghana. He said as a teacher, the students would come and stand up for him as soon as he walked in the classroom, and he expected that from an LA classroom, and he was soon educated that it's different. But I chuckled for days behind your saying that, but it's well deserved. We met long ago. We're going to review some days. Laurie and I go back a long way. We don't have to deal with the numbers, but we met in Camp Brewster, and it was a time that I never forgot because I loved camp. Summer camp was a time to get away from home and meet different people, all sorts of things, be out in nature, which was different than being at home. And you were in my cabin. Now, you're probably so brilliant, you remember the name of the cabin.
I believe it was the Bluebird Cabin, and I believe it was 1964. So we were born. We have to admit that.
And I'm proud of that.
We were very young.
Very young, yes.
And in this cabin, we were with other girls, and I will give an age range, and people can do the math if they want to.
Yes.
I believe you were 9, and I was 10.
Okay.
Most of the girls in the cabin were 9. I think I got held back because I wasn't good at lanyard making or something, some of those camp skills. But the thing I remember most is we were supposed to have lights out and a bedtime and quiet time after 9 o'clock. Well, the counselors let us stay up late because you would sing, and the counselors wanted to hear you sing. So here was this adorable little 9-year-old girl singing all the songs on the hit parade, all the Supremes moves, Stop in the Name of Love, and you were dancing and you were singing, and then in between songs, you would do stand-up comedy, and you would tell stories about your family and your home and your relatives, and you had us all laughing and begging for more. And it was just obvious that you were an incredible performer. But I want to say something else about you too. Besides that, you were the kindest person. There was one little girl in the cabin who was homesick, and she cried all the time. And I think I had no sympathy for her. I just thought, oh, grow up. You're at camp. You know, go ride a horse. Go do something fun. And instead, you were nurturing to her. You were so kind and loving and trying to lift her spirits, because that's the kind of a person you were.
Wow. You know, you go through life and your self-image can be so different than actually the reflection that you're giving me. I would never have seen myself that way. Singing, yes. Singing it just came naturally because of my family, and I enjoyed doing it. But the joy of our meeting at Camp Brewster, and you know, you went your way to college, I went my way for the brief time that I was at college, and then began touring. And
I was so proud of you when I followed your career. And I have to say a couple little more things about camp before we leave camp.
We have to.
One is that you were so proud of your mom.
Yes.
And I remember you talking about your mother at camp and how she was a wonderful singer too. And I believe she sang at Ross's Steakhouse, is that right?
Many different places. I'm sure she was there at some point.
And I knew that she was a huge talent. I never heard your mom sing until you gave me a CD a while back, and I listened to that again and again. But your love for your mother, your respect for your mother came through loud and clear.
Laurie, I'm supposed to be interviewing you.
Well, I want to say more
there are
about
all these
you
testimonials.
People need to get to know you. You have this wonderful new show, and I want them to know more about Carol
And that is your
Rogers
graciousness. That is your
in this
graciousness.
show.
That is on camera, off camera. That's, I'm sure, what makes you an amazing judge, because you know you speak the truth as it should be spoken. And I have questions. What happened?
I'll tell you my one regret regarding camp. After camp, you would write letters. You wrote letters to me. You wrote letters to the poor little homesick girl. You know, you were taking care of everybody.
Wow.
And these letters were funny. They were smart. They were well written. You could spell way better than I could ever spell. And I would read your letters and enjoyed your letters. And for a while, we were pen pals. And then I remember I dropped the ball, and I was the one who stopped writing back. And I felt bad about that later, but I thought at the time, how am I ever going to see Carol again? How are we ever going to reconnect? She goes to a different school, a different neighborhood, and then, what do you know? 50 years later, I get a chance for absolution.
Jeez.
Because we reconnected.
Oh my gosh, we're going to have to take a moment to show this wonderful clip of my progeny. I have one who might peak like you, but I have to ask more about you to see whether or not she's justice. I keep saying that like I'm in England. Judge worthy, or you know, what makes a judge? What did you do that I did differently that made you who you are? Anyway, enjoy this clip. It's a funny little clip. My granddaughters. Yeah, I'm a proud grandma. Doting, oh yeah.
Good morning, Your Highness.
Good morning.
Good morning. And is everything to your liking this morning? Is the castle and the moat and The dragons, everything is in order?
I don't have a dragon.
You don't? I will buy you a dragon, Your Highness.
I have a dog.
You don't have a dog, Your Highness, but I will buy you a dragon. They're more fun. You don't have to feed them. They just go out and eat people on their own, you know?
What?
Yeah, it's kind of...
My villagers can't be food.
No, I know, but... Oh, here's the little Highness. Okay, good morning, Your Highness. How are you? Good morning. Good morning, Your Highness. How are you? Say good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Your Queenship. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, yes. So, don't worry, we won't eat the villagers in your kingdom. We'll go next door and eat the villagers in the other kingdom, but that's okay.
No, people. They're all my villagers.
Yes, but you know...
Even the people in the other castle.
Yeah, but you know what? They have to eat. So, dragons have to eat. They have to eat something.
My people have to eat.
Yes, and some of them will get eaten by the dragon. Is that okay?
No, it's not.
Well, what shall I do with the dragon then?
No dragon. Back to the pet store.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Right. Amen.
All right, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed my granddaughters. Aren't they the cutest thing? I'm beginning to believe that my older granddaughter might become something as wonderful and as celebrated and as intelligent as my friend Laurie from Camp Brewster. Camp just happens to be a word that coincides with where we were. But I really want to know, the years that we spent apart after the pen pal, by the way, is an old term for emailing each other. We didn't email back then, obviously, but we wrote letters to each other, snail mail, and we snail mailed for a while. Lost contact, but that wasn't to be the trajectory of our lives. We are back with our
Absolutely.
Orbits colliding again, and wonderfully so. What was it that you did in school that let you know that something was peaking that was legal and binding in that kind of mindset and profession?
Well, you know that when you were growing up, you were very close to your mother. You saw your mother sing. You had some of those genes in you, but you also had a role model. You saw someone do what you wanted to do. And so you built on that. You knew it was in the realm of possibilities. Well, when I was growing up, my father was a lawyer.
See, I didn't know that.
I would visit him and work at his office. It was on the 14th floor of the Kiewit Plaza, where the Berkshire Hathaway offices are now. His firm was Swore, May, Royce, Smith, Anderson, and Ross. And I would work as a receptionist there on Saturday mornings and during the summertime, from the time that I was about 10, 11 years old.
Wow.
And my father would also take me with him when he would meet with clients. He did a lot of estate work, writing wills and trusts and handling estates for people, both rich and poor. So when he would take me with him, sometimes we would be in the homes of elderly widows and he would be giving them advice and I would be listening and observing. And I would think, well, this is something that I could do. This is in the realm of possibility. And he always let me know that he had no doubt I could be a lawyer. He never gave me the impression that there was anything that I could not do if I wanted to do it.
That's wonderful.
So he was a great role model for me and continues to be, although he's been gone a long time now.
That's wonderful. Well, he instilled within you a fearlessness about something that could be done because you had been, you were a very young intern.
Yes.
Very young intern.
Yes.
And obviously unafraid of the ability to do something like that. It wasn't, well, you should marry and follow the conservative route of things. But how blessed we are here in Omaha that you didn't, and that indeed what you're doing serves so many people, and in a righteous, and I mean that in an honest and truthful kind of way, in a way that justice meets the man.
Well, it's important for all young people to have role models.
Yes.
And to recognize that they can fill virtually any role in society if they set their goals and they work toward their goals. So part of what I do as a judge is getting out in the community and meeting with young people, whether they're in grade school or high school or law school, and making sure that whether they're male or female, they know that they can accomplish whatever they want to accomplish in the legal profession.
That's
and
wonderful.
I know you've done that as a teacher too over the
Yes,
years.
I've taught voice, but for me it just seems so much higher to, no, it's passion. It's your passion was what your father instilled in you, and what my mother instilled in me, and all these years that we meet together, I've been blessed to be able to come to functions where your legal. The one that we did at the Jocelyn this past summer. What a privilege to be there.
And I have to tell the wider audience here that Carol sang at the Jocelyn Museum in the store's courtyard for the judges and justices. I mean, we had people who were in the district court bench, we had the lawyers from throughout the Eighth Circuit, we had the Eighth Circuit judges, the appellate judges, and one justice of the United States Supreme Court, Justice Alito, was there to hear you as well, and everyone was thrilled with the music. I got so many comments.
Your invitation that I was there. See what happens when you reunite with friends, and you are ready to just correlate to just hang out and do wonderful things.
And of course, you helped me celebrate my 60th birthday
and that was so much fun.
Became a sexagenarian.
There we go. And I joined that. I'm 60, and it's a wonderful thing.
So it was another magical night. So friendship just is a gift that keeps giving, isn't it?
And never ever doubt my viewing audience, anyone in the viewing audience, that a friendship that begins so very young might not come back to be something that you can build upon later. Just pick up and go and continue and bring your gifts to it, and likewise. And I was just so glad to see you again, and well,
we're both blessed with many female friends.
Yes,
and I
we
know
are.
Several of yours.
Yes.
And we have some friends in common.
Yes, we have mutual friends that are really cool. And I was so busy in LA that I never got a chance to really do much of anything except drive home, drive to work, go home, try to get your head together to go back to work. I really spent a lot of time on the road, and I didn't have the female friendship that I'm building here in Omaha. Omaha is great for that kind of thing. And so we have our female friends that we can call upon, and you became somewhat of a superhero for me in an article that I read in the newspaper last year about Judge Kumpf.
Judge Kupf, it's spelled K-O-P-F. He's a senior judge of the district court in Lincoln.
Yes, and he blogs, and you, some of his words were misunderstood, but you spoke supporting the fact that you know him more largely in his blogging than some people that might have just seen that particular blogette, I don't know what you call it, that particular entry, that post. And I just appreciated the fact that you're so stylish all the time. Laurie, you're just, impeccably dressed all the time. I mean, you look under the black robe, if you could, and she's impeccably dressed all the time, just all the time. So there's never ever a question that you're not professional. You are a consummate professional, yet there's this trend or this thing that appears every now and then where people are dressing a little bit more liberally, or to the beat of their own drum, which seems a little bit less professional. My mother, as an OPS administrator, was beginning to lament about the appearance of less than professional wear attire in her staff, and something like that was in the article that people were coming.
Well, I think the message that
message
should be
mainly
taken
from
that particular post, that everyone agrees could have been worded differently. The message was that if a lawyer comes into the courtroom, the lawyer's dress should not detract from the lawyer's message, what the lawyer is trying to say. So whether or not the lawyer is appearing before a jury or before a judge or a panel of judges, as a lawyer, I always wanted my clients and the judges and the jury to hear what I was saying. I didn't want to detract from that through my dress. And so consequently, I would dress conservatively.
Right.
But if you're a singer and you're singing cabaret.
Check it out. You know, I can, yeah, we have the ability because we have a different kind of job.
Yes.
But, you know, it's just interesting. Things are relaxing so much in this day and age. There are limits, but we're not going to deal with those. We're going to sing a couple of verses from Camp Brewster. Woohoo! This is going to go viral, okay? Judge Laurie Smith-Camp and I are going to sing. Chief Judge Laurie Smith-Camp and I are going to sing.
Are we ready?
All right, I'm ready. Oh, they built the ship Titanic
to sail the ocean blue, and they thought they'd have a ship that the water would never go through. But the good Lord raised his hand and said that ship will never land. It was sad when the great ship went down. Oh, it was sad.
It was sad.
Mighty sad.
It was sad.
It was sad when the great ship went down to the bottom of the sea.
That wives and little children lost their lives.
It was sad when the great ship went down, down, down.
Second verse, you're on your own.
Well, the ice broke through the hull and the water began to roar, and the rich refused to associate with the poor. So they put them down below where they'd be the first to go. It was sad when the great ship went down.
We'll sing this as our last chorus.
It was sad.
It was sad. It was sad when the great ship went down to the bottom of the sea. Husbands and wives and little children lost their lives. It was sad when the great ship went down, down, down. There's a third verse, but we have to go to this last song that I'm going to present to you. Just coincidentally, it happens to be called "Search Me." We talked about Fourth Amendment rights. Yes, search and seizures. Seizures. Yeah. Anyway, it was coincidentally chosen for this, but it's a good way to end this time with my good friend Laurie. I'm grateful, so grateful to have you. She's just amazing. She's just, I love you back. What a blessing. Enjoy. Thank you. Blessings. Come back to see the Carol Rogers Show.
deep.